by the power of Grayskull.
Hello, this is just a quick review for Grid Legends on the PS4. It's free this month to download if you're interested. So you've got the whole of May to get it. I don't know, I can't remember if I've even played Grid. I think I did, maybe the first one when it came out. I know it came out, Grid 2 came out, I'm sure. But first impressions on this is it seems okay. It's just like it's more of like an arcade kind of racer. It's not too punishing, but you can change the difficulty. You can have the tire degradation on. You can you can change the options to make it a lot harder and a bit more realistic. Because when you first put it on, there's like the race line and everything's all in there. It's automatic and stuff like that. You can change it all. And it's got quite a good array of cars, as you can see. Just above the cars you can see those little symbols, like they're all the different class of cars. But some of my favourite cars are on there. There's like the Zack Speed Capri, and that Capri there, that one's the Worth one, not the Zack Speed one. But you don't normally see Ford Capris on anything, and the RS 500 Sierra Cosworth's on there as well, so it's a shame the Escort Cosworth's not on, but Sierra's just as good. But they've got some really old classic cars as well, like the very first, like one of the first McLarens that came out, and it's like just a fiberglass shell, and it's like the ultimate racing cars, stuff that you don't normally get to use on racing games, apart from maybe Gran Turismo. But there's a lot of classic touring cars, like this Audi and the Renault Megane and the Alfa Romeo 155, the Volvo 850, I think it is. So I had a model of that Alfa Romeo when I was a kid. Because if anyone played Tonka touring cars for the PlayStation 2, I think it was, you could be all these cars with the same liveries. But obviously it was a touring car game. But this has got a bigger range of cars, and from what I can see is that you can do a career mode. A lot of it you can play online, but you do get the choice to play offline if you want, because you can see, the lobby button if you press options, if you look at the bottom of the screen there. But you don't have to be in a lobby and play online. I think it just gives you the option to switch. If you want to switch it over, you can. Like I said, the racing's not too realistic. It's a bit arcadey, and it's quite forgiving as well. There is damage, but I'm just playing it on medium, I think. I can't remember. I think it starts on medium. I've never touched the difficulty, come to think of it, but I know you can put it on easy, medium, hard, or very hard, or legends or something. Where it's, like I said, the wear of your tyres, the fuel, everything comes into play then. But it is quite easy just to pick up and play. The buttons aren't too hard. Just L2, R2. You can change the gears yourself with square and X. Circle's your handbrake. Alright, and triangle is to rewind time, but I haven't used it. I don't want to use it. So you can rewind time with triangle, but I think you only get 2 or 3 per race. But if you're struggling, there, like under the mini map, it says 3. That's how many times you can press triangle, and it's just like a timeline bar that you can then hold down triangle and it rewinds back. And so I suppose if you're on the last lap or the last corner of a long race, 10 laps or something, and you don't want to have to do the race again, you could maybe rewind it a bit. But at the moment I'm doing an elimination, but it has got quite a steep learning curve. I mean, because this is literally the second or third race that I've done, and it's sticking you in a high performance GT40, I think it is. So it's like, you really chucked in the deep end. If you haven't played like fast moving race games, then this might not be for you straight away. You might have to get used to it for a bit. There is a lot slower cars. I mean, like I said, there's a massive array of cars out there. There's little Mini Coopers, there's like all these older slow cars out there, so there will be a chance for when you're racing slow cars, but there is a lot, like the majority of the car selection are really high performance, like this, and even ones faster than this, the Ferraris and shit like that. So I mean, it's like I said, it's not too hard. You can slide. um, I think it's you can like tap circle and do a handbrake drift, or you can power slide, where basically you just push the car to its limits, and then the car just slides naturally without you trying to like manipulate the brakes. Or you can just lash the handbrake on and send it into like a drift. But there is drifting races, because I've only played it for a few hours. There is drifting races on here, so I'm yet to play that, but I'm sure it'll be good, because you can drift quite well just in a normal race. Never mind that if the car's set up for drifting, you can mess around with the gear ratios and the suspension, the dampeners, and everything like that. So, like I said, it reminds me of Gran Turismo. There's lots of options, to customize your car and to do your setups and stuff. Massive array of cars to do. You actually do your licenses, but not in the same sense as Gran Turismo. But you do have to do like beginner races and stuff like that, which start you off on slow cars. So it's very similar, but Grid is its own game in its own right. It's always been like this. So, I haven't played it for a long time. So again, it feels quite new, all of this. The tracks aren't too bad from what I've raced so far. And it just tends to, once you've done a race, it'll just, you press X to look at the score, you press X again, it loads in, you watch a cutscene or you can skip it, and then you just enter a different race with a different car. There's no going back to the menu and you flicking around and you choosing what you want to do next so you can do them in any kind of chronological order or anything like that. It's just, it tells you what you're going to do. Basically, it gives you the cars to do, but that's only on the story mode. I think you can have a career as well, where there's different objectives to do and different things to unlock, different classes to play through. So there is a wider range of stuff to do if you don't want to play online. But I'm sure you can, everything I've just mentioned, you can also do online with other people racing you if you would prefer that. So I think you've got the option to play online or offline. So I do like that. Because I'm not really big on playing online. I think it spoils it some games. Some games it suits, and some games it doesn't, but that's a totally different video. But yeah, I do quite like it. It's addictive. I mean, you play one match and then you want to play it again. I think this is like exact uninterrupted like footage. So this is how long it takes to load, and this is exactly what happens once you've finished a race. And then it'll just go to a little load thing. Oh, that's another thing. Those actors they're in all the cutscenes. He's like the engineer, and the black guy's like the team leader, like the chief pit crew member. And they'll show you like a cutscene. I skipped it there, but they'll show you a cutscene where you like they're talking, and like they'll look directly down the camera as if you're standing there. So it's from your point of view, as if you're talking to these people, which is quite good. I mean, it's a good idea. Not many games try that, but I just skip them because I'm not a big fan of unnecessary information through cutscenes. If it's not relating to the game, it's like role playing basically. You're in the role of a guy who's on this race team, and you do get an option at the beginning. Do you want to continue the race season with the current race team, or do you want to start again and make your own season? So I just chose to start my own season and start my own racing team. But you can continue from a ready-made team, but you're already, like, the season's already underway type of thing. So it does give you two little options there. All the handling seems different on the cars as well. Like, as you can see, the way this truck handles, it's absolutely horrendous, because there's so much lean in the suspension. When you try and turn a corner at speed, it just digs into the floor like that. and the front wheels then lift up so they don't have any traction to turn the car. So even though you've got full lock, unless you could come right off the accelerator, I mean, it took us a while to suss it, but unless you come right off the accelerator, it doesn't actually get any grip to turn. So you have to be careful on how you drive it. So that tells me that every single car handles differently. And you've seen there's like hundreds of cars to play with. So like I said, for free, if you're getting it free, I mean, there's no harm in downloading it and seeing what it's like. You can change the view. There's a fair few different views. You can go right on the bonnet. You can go just the windscreen with the windscreen wipers. You can go just the dashboard with the dials, or you can actually go with the steering wheel, and you can see the bloke's hands like in front of him moving the steering wheel. So there's about 5 or 6 different views, but I just preferred this one for this particular vehicle because I was finding it hard to control this truck because it's a bit unwieldy because it's got so much power. But yeah, that's it really, just the first impressions. If you like the look of it, go and get it. It's on the PlayStation Plus now. If you're Essential, you can download it for free the whole of May. So if you like the look of it, and you can probably drive better than me because I was doing shit. Oh, there, look, I've rewound. So I lied. But that's it. See you there.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.